The laugh was small, but it cut through me like shrapnel. Not hers, her father's. That low, satisfied chuckle he saved for the moments when power bent to his will. It happened right after the dean announced her name. The room erupted, applause cascading like a storm, and she rose in her robe, radiant in her victory. I stayed seated, back row, shadowed. She didn't look at me. She never did anymore. But I watched her glance toward him, the man who bankrolled her confidence, who whispered in her ear that she deserved more than the fool she married. Then the words came. His toast, delivered in that smug, deliberate drawl. She inherits everything. The company, the mansion, the Tesla, the future. Every syllable erased me, reduced me to silence. I stared at the floor, where my reflection trembled in the polished wood. The applause was still rising when I felt the presence behind me. A hand, a voice, low enough to pierce bone. "It's time," the stranger whispered. He pressed the envelope into my palm. Heavy, final. My pulse did not rise. I had been waiting for this moment. It began long before Harvard, long before the scholarship. The betrayal was not sudden, it was surgical. Small cuts delivered daily. A joke about my intellect at dinner parties. A shake of her head when I mispronounced a name. She let them laugh. She laughed loudest. I told myself it was pressure, the stress of ambition. But ambition doesn't explain locked phones, late-night calls, the perfume that clung when she swore she had been in the library. I knew. Not at once, but like a man watching smoke creep beneath a door, I understood fire was on the other side. Her father fanned the flames. He told her she deserved someone sharper, richer, more like him. She never denied it. She didn't have to. The envelope in my hand wasn't a surprise. It was a reminder. I had buried my past to protect her. Now it was time to exhume it. I moved quietly. Years had taught me patience. Not love, discipline. 18 years as a CIA interrogator had trained me to hear what wasn't said, to see patterns others missed. I pulled records. Her calls mapped themselves into a grid of deceit. Hotel charges hidden in student loans. Transfers to accounts she thought I didn't know existed. And beneath it all, the senator, her father's chosen successor, her study partner, the man who smiled too long at her graduation rehearsal. I didn't rage. I documented every lie, every transaction, every whisper she thought evaporated when the night swallowed it. Meanwhile, she mocked. She looked at me with that polished smile, the one that said I was furniture she'd long outgrown. She rehearsed her victory while I sharpened the silence between us. The night before commencement, I left the files on her desk. No words, just evidence. She found them at dawn. I heard her breath crack. Then the pleading began. Not apologies, self-preservation. Her eyes darted as if walls might testify. She tried to laugh it off, but the sound collapsed midway, choked by the weight of her exposure. I said nothing. Silence is heavier than accusation. When she realized I wouldn't shout, wouldn't break, her panic deepened. She wanted chaos, screaming, maybe violence, something she could twist into her story. I gave her calm instead. It terrified her more than rage ever could. Graduation day. The stranger placed the envelope in my hand. Inside, clearance files. My clearance. Level 5. Classified. Her father's empire wasn't as impenetrable as he believed. Half his board owed their positions to contracts they could not publicly defend. The senator was not untouchable. His appetites were documented. My documentation. I rose from the back row, slow, deliberate. When I wound opening those files, I was gone. Walked past her, I saw her smile falter. She knew. Somehow, she already knew. I didn't speak. I placed the envelope on her father's polished podium, nodded once to the stranger, and left the hall. By the time the cameras captured his trembling revenge, isn't fire, it's frost. It doesn't burn, it freezes everything it touches. By morning, the senator had vanished into an undisclosed location. The board scrambled under federal review. Her father's empire cracked under scrutiny. And her, the brilliant graduate, the chosen heir, her name trailed ruin like smoke. I didn't watch. I didn't need to. She had mocked me for being the dumb one. What she never understood was this: intelligence doesn't show itself in loud gestures. It waits. It watches. It dismantles in silence. Now, when I look in the mirror, I don't see the fool she married. I see the man she never really knew. And that is enough.